Kal Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, amongst whom I learned this truth from over the years. Peace and blessing to all the brethren who is laboring, teaching this word week in, week out. My name's Kanawak from Great Millstone, Toronto. Today is February the 7th, 2019. I was listening to the radio today. They're saying that the European Union is 50 days away. The world is 50 days away from the UK leaving the European Union, which they call it the Brexit. And this is prophecy, man. This is prophecy. As you see in the article, it's entitled "End of European Union. Brussels in vulnerable position, and this could prove fatal, predicts expert." Which he predicted it. This expert predicted it, right? But really, ultimately, this is prophecy. This was already predicted thousands of years ago, man. By the Most High through his prophet Daniel. The book of Daniel. Already talks about this, man. You know what I mean? But I'm going to read some of this article, then I'm going to get Daniel too. It says, the European Union could soon face collapse because of the weak and vulnerable position. The volatility of the euro and clashes with member states have created European affairs. Expert Ian Curran's claim. Mark Curran suggested a new financial crisis taking a direct hit at the European Union's the European Union's common currency, the euro, could result in the destruction of the bloc, which it is, because the head member of the European Union is the UK, which is Britain, known as Britain today, or United Kingdom. They're the head member. They're the head state. So if the strongest member of the union, they pull out of membership, that's gonna just cause a domino effect, man. That's gonna cause a major domino effect where it's gonna affect all these European unions. All these European Union states. It says the European affairs expert warned Brussels a lack of reform of the mechanism regulating the Eurozone could worsen the risk factors threatening the EU. While unable to pinpoint a precise date for the end of the European Union, he suggests the weak and vulnerable position the bloc is currently in has transformed it in a sitting duck, which is prophecy, man. End of the day, they have these all these summits and committees every year, the G20, G8, Bilderberg meetings, all these the Trilateral Commission, the Council of 300, and all these different groups that they have, here in North America and over there Europe. And they plan all these things, because at the end of the day, they think that they're gonna rule the world in a stronger hold. Basically, what they want to do, they want to establish this new world order and fulfill the satanic doctrine, of putting us back in slavery, and getting rid of the undesirables of their own people, of their Edomite brethren, their so-called European brethren, the undesirables. They want to get rid of all the undesirables and establish a new world, as they call it, a new world order. That's what they want to do, right? But this is all prophecy, end of the day, and it's not going to work out in that favor. Let's hear what Daniel, what he interpreted for because King Nebuchadnezzar had a vision, and Daniel, he interpreted this dream, because the Most High, he deals with prophecy, man. And the dream or the vision what Nebuchadnezzar had is an actual prophecy that's been fulfilled, because you had the Babylonian Empire that came to power, then you had the Persians that came to, you had the Persian and Medes Empire that came to power. Then you had the Greco-Roman Empire, which starting with Alexander the Great, going into the Romans, and and then we came to power ultimately. We lost power, and then Esau's back in power, which is the revised Roman Empire. So, and let's get it, man. It says, Daniel 2 and 32. The image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, and his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet of iron and clay. Thou sawest till that a stone. Okay. The image's head of gold and his breast of silver. So I already explained that. That was the first Babylonian. That was the Babylonian Empire, that came to power. Because here's the thing, the Bible, it mentions the major empires of the world. All throughout this book, it talks about the Babylonian Empire, the Medes and Persians, the Greco-Romans. You know what I mean? This is the only book that mentions these empires and has prophecy of it. No other book has these prophecies. It says, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet part of iron and part of clay. And this is the extension of the Roman Empire that we're living in right now. America, the whole European Union and NATO and stuff, right now they're partly strong and partly broken, with this whole European Union crisis. They have an acronym known as the PIGS. All right, Portugal, Ireland, Italy, Spain, and some other ones, Greece, right? Those are very weak states, and they're part of the European Union, and there's all kind of riots and chaos in those countries right now. So when Britain officially leaves the European Union, it's not just going to be Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Greece, and Spain that's going to be affected. It's going to be the whole European Union, and people are going to lose a lot of benefits, whether they have free healthcare. A lot of industries are going to be affected, not just within the European Union, but businesses that do trade with Britain and the UK. They're gonna have to come to terms with under a different entity. So instead of dealing with the European Union, they're gonna have to deal directly with Britain. So meanwhile, they're working on contracts and stuff. There's gonna be all kind of trade. There's gonna be all kind of delays of goods or exporting and importing into different areas of the European Union, is going to be affected with trade, so that means that things are going to be increased, like your gas, foods, different industries are going to be shut down because they're not receiving goods. So, it's just a matter of when it fully collapses, man, because because Britain is the financial capital of the world, man. And they play a strong role in monetary gain in the world, so to speak. You know, that's the financial state of the world, is Britain. Then you have the religion. You have Rome over there. Rome, where's the religious state of the world. Then you have Washington D.C., which is the military state of the world, because there's different. There's basically 3 different powerhouses, you know, all over the world. You know, but yeah, that was pretty much it. You know what I wanted to get into. I'm gonna finish up this verse. It says, "Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them in pieces." And who's that stone? Yahweh Shai. And then that's a spiritual term too, the stone. You know, because Great Millstone, man. That term, Great Millstone, is even a spiritual name, because we're spiritually breaking this empire down by exposing all these lies, by bringing out these prophecies. But that stone represents Yahweh Shai, man. It says, that were of iron and clay, and brake them in pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. So what's that great mountain? That's the empire of Israel. You know, that's our kingdom being built. The Israelites coming back to power under the rulership of Yahweh Shai. Because ultimately we're joint heirs with the Lord Yahweh Shai, which is, you know, this is his kingdom, man. And we're going to be joint heirs. You know? But I'm going to prove that the Lord was the rock, or the stone. Right now I'm just on the road, you know. I have some free time on my hands, so I'm just making this video. Let's get it, man. It says 1 Corinthians 10 and 4. I started at 3. And did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock was Yahweh Shai, man. Or the rock was the anointed. You know, so that was pretty much it, man. You know, we have to be watching for current events. You know, trade. You know, trade war in the whole. You know, in the economy. You know, geopolitical news and all that stuff. You know, that we have to keep ourselves posted, and bring out any of these articles or videos exposing this whole thing that's about to unfold. So with that, I'd like to say Kahalal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors again to the apostle of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all the brethren and the few sisters who's out here you know, watching us and learning and applying themselves. So with that, I'd like to say Shalom.